Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to today's video. Firstly, I hope you've all been keeping well and staying safe during these turbulent times. Now remember, we've all we've got, so be sure to look after one another. Okay, so today's video, it's going to be an interesting one. One that most people probably don't correlate or put together with business, performance, and as well, not eating. So this concept that I speak of is actually called fasting, or intermittent fasting for those who use it on a regular basis. But ultimately what it means is that we are having a prolonged window of not eating, i.e. fasting, and allowing us to enjoy the benefits for both a physical and as well a mental perspective. Now, what I'm going to do is before I start, please note this is a disclaimer. I am not a health profession. I am not a doctor. I'm not someone who is a nutritionist. So please take this as, observation of my experience and my thoughts around this space. If you do want to look into this a bit further, please do your own research. More often than not, people do find themselves into a bit of a bingle, if for lack of a better phrase, if they pursue something and don't understand it in its entirety. So go check out some pretty cool nutritionists and as well some doctors who advocate for this upcoming phrase. So as I said, intermittent fasting. Now for me, I've been actually intermittent fasting since I was a kid, and this is no disrespect to how I was brought up or what we're doing, but basically for me, I wasn't interested in breakfast, nor was there anything nice to eat for breakfast. So usually I just get up out of bed, get ready for school, and then hop off and go. Now for me, I just really wasn't the type of person to eat breakfast. I would be so go. I'd be very fidgety. I'd be very, the last thing I want to do is eat. Also to, add to that as well, I didn't have an appetite. So usually breakfast, I would disregard. I'd be straight out and away I go. Now, I've had some theories about why I'm 5 foot nothing at 5'7", and why my brothers and everyone else around me is at a lot higher height. But also could be to do with my mother being pretty short as well, so that probably theory goes down the drain. Anyway, so those are the type of the questions that I had. Could I have slept a lot longer? Could I have eaten a lot more? Was I malnutritious? Not because of, again, the food that my parents provided. We had breakfast, but I just chose not to eat it. That could be another attribute as to why I am what I am today. But do I look back and go, should I change it? Nah. It is cool to think about it, but in the long term, it's like, I am what I am. This is what it is. I'm just going to own it and take it on. So here I am. Anyway, back to the points, intermittent fasting. So growing up, I didn't realize that there was an actual technical term, but for me, intermittent fasting was something I practiced on the regular basis through mainly high school. And again, probably because I was so focused on other things, whether it be football, females, girls, notice that those are the two things that came to mind rather than schoolwork. So you can see what my priorities were. But again, intermittent fasting was something that I would be doing, but just wasn't conscious of or even understood the name. Whereas 5 years ago, back in 2015, so this was about 9-10 years out of school, a good friend of mine, his name's Saki, and he was doing the intermittent fasting protocols. Now, he followed a YouTuber online, and again, very similar boat, Pacific Islander, who was very active and just really didn't eat. He just went out, did his thing, was just very active. So again, was intermittent fasting something that was the norm to us? Probably on a subconscious level, but as we started to learn a little bit more about the science behind it, how effective it was, and what it does for the actual body, not only the physical body, but also the mental side, we lapped it up, we enjoyed it. And again, for those who've watched my previous video, I was affiliated with a company in network marketing, and they advocated for digestive enzymes, probiotics, super greens, and just that very healthy, prominent support around the gut and the gut health. So whilst I jumped into that space in 2015, learned about intermittent fasting, practiced it on a more scientific level, and really saw the results of it, I started to adopt it. And I think 5 years on, I don't really go off intermittent fasting. It's something quite normal for me, something that again has been inherited growing up. So in your instance, or if I was someone new looking into it, I'd do a little bit more research. I'd also check out a nutritionist and get their thoughts around how you've been, conditioned growing up. What is your current norm? Are you eating 3 meals a day? Are you eating 6, 8 meals a day? What are you doing at the moment? And then seeing how you can taper that into eventually incorporating intermittent fasting. Now, is intermittent fasting something I would recommend everyone do? Absolutely, but that is on a sort of asterisk, because there are effects for people who do take up intermittent fasting that they shouldn't be doing. So these are people who are more diabetic. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave it. This is my information, this is my experience and what I've learned throughout the years. But again, please check out a nutritionist, see a health profession to see if this is, I guess, a protocol that can be used by you. So anyway, just wanted to jump into it. I've just completed a 48-hour fast. Fast has been awesome. And that being said, though, it has been an interesting 48 hours. Usually when I do a 48-hour fasting block, it's a lot easier. And I look back and I realize that I probably was consuming a lot more caffeine. So this time around, or at least for the last, I think 2 months, I've been off caffeine. So caffeine isn't in the system. But looking back at the previous 48-hour fast, which was a couple of months ago, I did consume quite a bit of coffee. Now, granted, I do still have my decaf coffee, which for people who would suggest that there is still a tiny trace of caffeine in it, yeah. But again, I'm not dosing my body or overdoing it with a lot of caffeine these days. Now, is it something I would take up back again? Yeah, possibly. But for now, I'm quite content with how I am without the caffeine. And as well, I'll jump into a different video as well, but alcohol and my thoughts around it. So for me, I've been both off alcohol and as well caffeine for a number of months now. And yeah, I think my body is a lot more fluid, a lot more in flow, so to speak. And you know, you'll find a lot more of the videos that I push out, there is a sort of interconnection between both the spiritual side and as well the pragmatic, would you even call it scientific side of things, or just things that we've been able to prove. So for me, I love sitting on both sides. I love learning about both sides. And you know, probably 5 years ago, a lot of people would have slated intermittent fasting and saying that that was probably a more harmful thing to the body rather than actually being beneficial. So you'll see that there's a lot of scientific literature and as well a lot of studies that showcase, again, being blunt here, both sides of the equation. It's up to you as the individual to select which piece of content or which piece of information are you going to consume and actually look at testing on yourself. Because again, you can read through these studies, you can read through so many things, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. It's ultimately your body on how it is applied out. Like, you could be very good with intermittent fasting, you could be very bad with it, but you won't realize until you actually go through the process and see if that is fit for you. Anyway, so that is again me trying to make sure that I'm giving both sides. It's not biased. I'm giving my personal reflection on intermittent fasting, and yeah, I hope that sort of gives you a bit of context with where I'm coming at with intermittent fasting. So just to give you a few benefits on what intermittent fasting does for both the physical and as well the mental side of things. For me, I enjoy the physical side, which is more the just resting of the digestive system. And again, learning about this 5 years ago and the importance of the digestive system, like we tax it so much by just putting loads of food into it. And again, we're not talking about foods full of GMO, foods full of just a lot of inflammatory stuff is what we put into our bodies, which then, again, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I just want you to do your own research and just showcase that the digestive system is so very important, and you hold a hell of a lot of importance of, I guess, your overall health from the guts, and as well a lot of the energy is consumed from the gut. So yeah, something I would like you guys to take note, if anything, the digestive system and how important it is, I guess, to give it a rest. So that's number one. I'm just going through my notes here. As I said, basically resetting the body. Now, the digestive system to a degree resets, and thus anything that happens within the digestive system, they say this is your first brain before the actual brain. So a lot of the signals are sent to the brain after the gut has already gone through it and basically told the brain what to do. So in this instance, resetting the body, giving the body its entire sort of flush of the toxins, just a lot of nasties within the body as well. You get to realize that during this process, it isn't, I wouldn't say it's the nicest thing to do, but again, it's something that you're testing the body. You know that the body's detoxifying itself, and yeah, you're just cleansing it in a way that it's a good reset. It's a good reset bar, and allow you to reintroduce proper foods or reintroduce better habits around the digestive system. So for me, I've been able to use it in that instance. What else is there? There's this protocol called autophagy, and I actually enjoy it. I love it. And then basically what it is, it's recycling old damaged cells within the body and generating new cells. So you could say that you're replenishing, or you're actually, there's this phrase that we would say back then where it's like, you're morphing into your better self. You're becoming Super Saiyan, so to speak. And again, that's just a sort of internal comment that was made within the group that we had. But yeah, effectively, we are removing a lot of the toxins, removing a lot of the old cells, and regenerating new cells. So we're just, leveling up, if anyone's a Dragon Ball Z fan. Okay, there's also this hormone that is heightened, which is called HGH, which is human growth hormones. So for me, trying to do my best with it. And yeah, as I said, detoxifying the body. Ultimately, the physical aspects is awesome. Notice as well, I haven't said once about just weight loss. Now, if you are looking at weight loss, I would believe that would be to do with the thermogenic of the body and the calories in versus calories out. And intermittent fasting does complement that side of things, but I do not do that to lose weight. I do not do that to promote loss of body fat or loss of weight. That is something that I feel should be discussed at a more detailed level with, again, a health profession or someone like a nutritionist. So yeah, the physical benefits are, as I said, resetting the body, autophagy, and getting the new cells to reform, letting the digestive system rest, which is the the first brain before your actual brain, the HGH hormone, which is that human growth hormone, and as well detoxifying the body. So that's the physical aspects. The next one there is the mental benefits. Now, for me, 48-hour fast isn't too bad. A 24-hour fast I actually quite enjoy. I'm going about my day usually, workouts. Yeah, I still push myself to the limits on a 24-hour fast, but within the second 24 hours, within that 48-hour window, I tend to taper back a little bit, only because my energy isn't as what it was if I was fueled with a lot of foods, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. But yeah, for me, I feel like the last 24 hours is allowing me to reflect, allowing me to meditate, allowing me to just understand that the body is cleansing. The body is going through its process of removing a lot of the toxins. Also, there's a lot of water weight that's lost purely because the carbohydrates isn't storing the water. Actually, I'm not going to go into any. But yeah, there is. You will notice a reduction in weight on the scales, but again, that isn't the primary source for intermittent fasting. The primary source, as I said, is resetting the body and letting our digestive system, if there's anything, digestive system and the replenishing of new cells. Those are the two big key factors I would say that would be beneficial for fasting. Again, just to realize on the mental performance as well, once I've realized that in the 24 hours, after 24 hours, has accomplished, I started to notice there's a fair bit of energy coming through. Now, usually within the 3 to 5 day fast, that's when you get that heightened level of energy where you just can go, super focused in on what you're meant to do, or what you want to do, sorry. But in this instance, I did get that little window of just sheer energy, but yeah, I just felt like perhaps 3 to 5 days I could just get that heightened energy, really focusing. You see a lot of entrepreneurs who literally go through a 3 to 5 day fast and they narrow in on their work. They just block everything out, focus in on what they need to do, really accomplish a hell of a lot of work, and then just slowly taper themselves back into feeding. So yeah, there is so many benefits that I myself has benefited from. I enjoy. It is something that I've been used to growing up. But yeah, if this is something that you've heard from the first time, then seek someone who is in this space, get their thoughts around it, and build something to either integrate that with what you're doing at the moment, or if this is something that you've been doing, see how far you can go in terms of stressing the body. One thing that I feel like we don't give our bodies enough is that just that confidence, or that how do you explain it? Just don't give the body enough motivation. No, not motivation. Like, we don't give our bodies enough credit for what it's capable of doing. We had, again, if we look back in history, we've had people like you and I go to war, live off nothing, live off literally rations, and still work out. When I mean work out, literally exert so much energy and they still get through it. So again, there's a hell of a lot of benefits to pushing the body to its extreme and getting it out of its comfort zone, because a hell of a lot of us sit in the comfort zone and we just stagnate and do nothing. And thus, when we are on our deathbed, we'll have a fair bit of regret. So again, hope this video sort of helps. I know I've went on certain tangents, but I feel like it is very important to try and emphasize the points of intermittent fasting, why I do it, but also giving ourselves more credit than what we do on how the body can adapt and really push itself out of the comfort zone. So anyway, I am rambling on. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys do, please hit the thumbs up button. I've tried to deliver or try to give as much information as I can from a intermittent fasting point. But if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Love to hear from you guys. And do you guys fast? If so, what type of fast? Different protocols, 16/8, 24-hour fast. Are you doing one meal a day? There are a hell of a lot of information that I haven't even dived into, but hopefully I can give you guys that sort of understanding and awareness around this space to then go out and do your own research and connect with some phenomenal people in this space. So hope you guys are well. Keep active. Thanks for the comments as well, and if you have any questions, let me know and I'll answer it best I can. All right then guys, catch you in the next video. Bye.